If it ain't about money, my mother, my brother, my sister, my youngin', no squares in a circle of niggas I run with his VC. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Welcome to another episode of See What I'm Saying. It's your boy Jonesy 202. Yes, sir. To my right, I got my boy Big Bang. How you feeling, homie?
I'm here, baby. B.I.G. Bang. You heard of it?
Yeah. We in there, bit. Look, to my far right, I got my boy Santana. How you feeling, homie?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good, man.
Santana.
Yes, sir. Look, man. Should we get straight into it?
Should we?
Go.
Come on.
Yeah. Here we go. Look, man. Today we're going to talk about the social media detox. Oh, man. Here we go. Social media detox.
Very needed.
Very needed, huh, man?
Yeah.
That's today's society, right? It's just based on social media, kinda. But look, what happens when you disconnect from the noise, bro? Like, what does that look like? First of all, have you guys ever disconnected from social media?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What was
I
like?
give y'all a story about it for real. Me and the homies used to do. It used to be a competition.
Okay.
Right? So
yeah.
It used to be we would go on like. It would start with a month, and then we go like 3 months just discontinuing social media. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you was to go on, it was like a $20 fee you got to put into the bucket.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? And
wow.
whoever went on the least,
Yeah.
right? Because you know what I mean? It's, bro, if you my dog, we got to keep it honest.
Yeah, we got to be honest. Yeah.
And so what we would do at the very end, you could see how many times you logged in.
Yeah,
to
hold
these
each other
accounts.
accountable.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so no matter what it was for, if you logged in, you broke the rule. That's $20 to the pot. You know what I mean? So we would check at the end of each week, but we did it for like 3 months, bro.
Ooh, yeah.
And it was like, mentally, it's so healthy.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you see so much clearer. You know what I mean? But no, it's definitely a much needed thing, man. If you ever get the opportunity and have a chance to detox,
What do you
social
do
media,
in that detox, though?
Like, what does it look like
Yeah.
for you to detox from social media?
Like, what does that entail?
close all of those apps, bro.
Delete them off your phone?
Get them out of here.
Oh, man.
You got to
Is
think
it-
you're not deleting your accounts, right?
Yeah, no,
you're only
they're still there.
You're only deleting the app, so you have no reason to jump back on.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's nothing for you to go look at.
What are
nothing
you
to go
doing
post,
in the
nothing for you to go
meantime,
search
though?
for.
So what
Focusing on myself.
I've done that.
I'm trying to fix myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In the meantime that I'm de-escalating from social media, I'm becoming a better just person.
But what do those steps look like is what I'm saying. Like, we got to get the audience.
Okay, so boom. What I've done when I disconnect from social media, I focus on myself and what that may look like,
Yeah.
right? And that's what you're asking, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
100%.
so boom. What it may look like is this. What I did was I started focusing more on my physical, on my health, right? I started going to the gym every day.
Yeah.
I started focusing on my diet. I started focusing on the healthy relationships that I have with like my family and my friends. You know what I mean? It's not a send you a message kind of thing. It's let me call you. Let's plan something. Let's go see each other in person kind of thing like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the difference. You know what I mean? For me, bro, I'm telling you, bro, like it is a good thing to do and to practice, to be honest.
You think that social media has like hindered people's ability to connect in person,
I think so.
or has it like elevated, and brought more connections, or has it hurt more connections?
I think it hurts. And
More
the
than it
reason-
helps.
I think it hurts more than it helps because how many times have you like had a family function, like a birthday party or a backyard cookout kind of thing like that, where you see a setting like this and we may be having a conversation, but it might be a C person that's just on the phone. It just stuck to the phone. And then, you know what I mean? Like we may be wanting to involve that person
Not
into the
living in the
conversation
moment.
and he's not living in the moment.
Yeah.
And that's really what it comes down to. You're not actually living in the moment,
Yeah.
you know?
No, that's real. That's real.
Yeah. I think, like I said, for me, I saw a lot of change in my physical health, bro. I took a lot of time to say, look, I'm going to go to the gym.
Take yourself serious.
I took myself serious.
Yeah.
It was no distractions. It was no
not being easily influenced.
no
by things that you're seeing.
influence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just me and myself. And honestly, it was kind of wild because I'm so used to just hopping on the phone and starting to scroll
Yeah.
when I have my downtime.
Yeah.
But when you delete that app and you choose to disconnect, you have to like really say like, okay, I'm bored, but what am I going to do? Because it's boring. It's boring because that's a norm for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like it gives you a chance to sit with yourself.
Yeah.
And sometimes for people that's uncomfortable
Yeah.
and like they don't want to hear, because sometimes the silence is very loud.
Silence is loud. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you really you really discover your own thoughts and really figure out yourself in those moments where you can't just like binge watch and rot in bed and watch shit all day. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to do something more productive, so it's demanding.
It literally is demanding.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's kind of like it's powerful move. Like, you know what I mean? If you really choose to decide to disconnect, bro, that's powerful. You know, because it's what we see every day, how we interact with each other.
When is it a good time for somebody to disconnect? Like, what are the signs for somebody to maybe look at that option? Is it when they're getting too depressed or when they start comparing themselves too much, or like when is it?
I think it's when you're the person that's in the conversation that's stuck to your phone. Like I was just talking about, you know what I mean? Like when you're in a group conversation and you pull out your phone and you start scrolling.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. At that
It's
point,
time
like
for you to disconnect.
you need to disconnect.
Yeah. No, it's also comes down to just personal awareness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you got to think, bro. People check social media. It's like news. It's entertainment. You know what I mean? Like, the first thing people do when they wake up. If your first thing you do when you wake up is look at your phone,
Yeah, that's another
and it's
thing
not
right there.
like you're looking at the weather or the
Yeah.
calendar or like, you know what I mean? What time it is? You're looking at social media first.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, bro. You got a
Something's
problem.
wrong
You know what I
here.
mean? You got to think about it. You wake up. Most people, you know what I mean, in this generation now, wake up, look at their phone, social media. Go to sleep, look at their phone, social media, right? That's why the prime times in the day to actually post something is early in the morning,
Right.
lunchtime, and about that 8 o'clock when people are starting to fade off and go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? Because everybody's tuned in to something. They just need something to look at. And versus you either reading a book, you know what I mean? You actually going in to do research on information that can actually help you in your actual personal life.
Yeah.
You rather just go look
Scroll.
at something that someone else is doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
an easier facet for people to adapt to. You know? And just look at it how it's messed up just society since it's came alive. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
social media has done as much great. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good things that do happen on social media. You know what I mean? A lot of good information to be out there, but just look how much it's damaged the person, just humans.
Do you think it was like social media's intent, like these big groups, right? I'm just calling them big groups or whatever. But do you think it was their intent to make us closer as people? Or do you think it was for us to be addicted to scrolling?
I think
Go ahead.
I think their intent was to make us more connected, but it ended up being more distracting just because it was so good, and like just because there was so much content, and then because there was so many people you can connect with, you can have group chat, you can have so many types of things on social media, and it's like you can keep up with people without necessarily having to message them all the time. So it's very convenient.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it was meant for that, but then it ended up becoming so entertaining. People just wasted so much time on there. You know what I'm saying? But it's understandable.
I think it really just grew with the time that we're living in.
Yeah.
Because if you go back to what AOL and Hotmails and all that, right? It was only
MySpace.
Word. It was only Word.
Yeah.
Right. So you were still logged into life versus being logged into your site, right?
Yeah.
So you was only like, you was chatting. You know what I mean? It was regular shit.
Mm-hmm.
You're having conversations. You know what I mean? And then you got the boom. We're gonna take it back a little bit. You got MySpace, right?
Mhm.
You started to be able to like post pictures, right? The dynamic of who's in your top 8
Yeah.
became real personal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it still
Lord.
wasn't about posting.
Yeah,
right?
it wasn't. It never
Right?
was. Yeah.
Even
at that point.
Facebook, when it initially came around, was just for you to be in contact with people that you couldn't find. You know what I mean? Originally, that's what it was for. It was the new phone book,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then you get the Twitters and the Grams and the Snapchats.
The
Now those was
Snapchats.
meant to distract you from whatever the fuck you was doing.
Yeah, because they so that answers the question though. You think that like later on it turns into, okay, people are really buying into this. Let's like give them really something to attach to
Yeah.
and disconnect from the real world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also helped these big companies, you know what I mean? Their databases.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people don't understand, like, there's so much things that are happening that you don't see on these social medias. You know what I mean? With these big corporations and these big companies, they're just collecting data the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we ain't gonna get into it, but there's,
Yeah.
there's a whole nother side to
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying?
Look,
We gonna
look, one of
leave
them.
them folks alone.
Leave 'em alone.
You hear me?
Yeah.
But
Subscribe
they
to the YouTube.
Yeah, come on. You know what I mean? We're here for the positive. You know?
We really are. We're trying to give game. Here we
But
go.
it's crazy because think about how far it's came now, right?
Yeah.
If we're sitting here talking about something, right?
Mm-hmm.
I go home later tonight and I'm just scrolling through my phone. Something that we talked about is gonna pop up,
Yeah, definitely.
right?
Yeah.
Because they listen and they know what's going on. You know what I mean? Even if you just search something, you know what I mean? It's okay. Maybe that's what you're interested in. Or if you stayed, however long you stayed on a video or on a picture, right?
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay, this is what you're interested in. Okay, boom. That's where you get your For You pages, your Explore pages. Boom. Now it's everything they think you want to see, right? Now they got your attention because now it's everything that you've literally showed us you physically spend time on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all built for a distraction.
That's
At
a
the
fact.
end of the day.
That's a fact, bro.
You know what I mean? If you're not using it to your benefit, you're just using it for a distraction. You know?
And that's sad, bro, because I feel like so many people, they are dealing with that, but they don't even realize it. You know what I mean? Like, they are scrolling and they're wasting their time, to
Yeah.
be honest. Like,
Yeah.
the time that they have to do something even better than what they imagine.
And
yeah.
time is the most valuable thing you have.
It really
Yeah.
is.
It's more valuable than money.
Yeah.
So if you think about it like that, then yeah.
And it's forcing themselves to compare.
Yeah. That brings me
that's
into
the most dangerous part about it.
Yeah. Your comment brings me into the next question, right? Do you think that social media actually helps people build confidence, right? Or does it do the opposite?
I'd say both.
I say it's 50-50.
Okay.
Perfect.
Let's talk about
And
it.
just because it's like
Let's talk about it.
it just because it's like, I mean, another question I have is, does it show you the truth? If you post and like people think you're attractive, you know what I mean? Is that something? Or if you post and nobody does, is that something? Like, you know what I mean?
See what I'm saying?
Like, what is it?
I'm going to
'Cause-
jump back to the 50-50. You know what I'm saying? Because you can get on social media
Mhm.
and you can live this lie, right? Which is it's boosting you to other people.
Yeah.
But when you log off,
Yeah.
you have to deal with the real person.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
There is no more faking the funk.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I say the 50-50 lies.
Right.
You know what I mean? The balance of real life and social media. You know what I mean? And we see it all the time, bro. People are selling dreams. They're
Literally.
selling dreams on social media and a lot of times it's the people that are in places that you think you can't get to. You know what I mean? And you're not even seeing how they got there. It's just a quick picture. Now you're just like, oh, I ain't never did that. I can't. How am I gonna get that? Like, look what he's doing now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, you're comparing, which is the worst thing you can do with social media. It's
Yeah.
not a real place.
It's not a real place.
Comparison is a thief of joy.
Come
So,
on.
Bro, you comparing yourself to social media, it's not real.
No,
It's not real. That's what we talk. It's not real.
not at all.
You know?
It's literally the Matrix.
That's sad.
You
So,
know what I mean? People
you
get
know-
lost in the matrix.
I will say though, there are people that are on social media that, make a living,
Yeah.
right? But at the same time, do you think that those people are suffering from the same things that we're talking about? Like they need to disconnect, but they just can't because that's how they make their money?
I honestly don't know if it's the fact that I think a lot of them wish they could disconnect,
Yeah.
but I think they know. You got some of these people got brands that are invested into them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a
You
life
got
source.
ads
Yeah.
that are behind your page. You know what I mean? You're getting
Yeah.
paid just to post pictures. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, this is your lifestyle.
You're
And
right.
you chose to make it to this point. You know what I mean? So
Right.
can't nobody feel bad for you. But at the end of the day, do they need to disconnect? Probably. Can they? No.
How do you balance that though? Like because like I said, like, you go into it, right? You're making your money, you're doing your thing, things are going good for you, but at the end of the day, we all know that there needs to be a line where you have to be able to disconnect, right?
It gotta be a line.
This is the funniest nigga.
This mother fricker.
Hey.
So we don't get demonetized. Yeah, right. But this motherfucker right here.
Disconnect, nigga.
Yeah.
Disconnect.
Disconnect from the social influence of the media. You look how I did that? Yeah, me. See what I'm saying? But like real
God,
spill,
man.
like, you know what I mean? What y'all think? Oh, now the niggas then forgot the question.
Nah. Niggas is cooked.
Drink for that.
Man, you my hey, look, bro. But look, man,
Yeah.
like I said, bro, it's like, okay, at the end of the day, how do you let's just do this.
Sometimes you can't.
Exactly.
You can't disconnect, right?
Because that's your life source.
it's your
right
life
there.
source, it's your lifestyle, it's your income, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there are people out here that probably are praying for the day that the shit gets shut down just so they can have that chance. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like every once in a while you see like, oh, Instagram's down or Twitter's down or
Right.
you know what I mean? It just happens. You know what I mean?
TikTok.
Even-
TikTok was down. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it just comes down to like it probably like brought a relief for some people in that moment.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like I can breathe, I can just be me. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because a lot of times, bro, you become a character, right?
Mhm.
It's almost like you're acting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a TV show, in a movie, whatever it is, you have to be that character every time that you post.
Yeah.
Every time that people see you, they're expecting what they're seeing. You know what I mean? You can't just come out and
Talk to 'em.
be yourself. Because people be like, that nigga ain't like that.
Talk to
Like,
him.
man, she ain't like that. Like, that's not you. That's not who I saw. You know what I mean? It's just same shit with like catfish, right?
Yeah.
Right? How many
Yeah.
times you see motherfuckers get catfish?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Social
Yeah.
media played a high factor in that.
Look.
Back in the day, you had to go meet somebody face
Yeah.
to face. Now it's like, oh, I could post a picture of somebody that's not even me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And go
Mhm.
talk to you. And I got this amount of followers. I got these pictures of this other person. You know what I mean? And you're gonna fall for it just because you see the lifestyle, you see the opportunity.
Right.
Whole time you're getting played out your position.
Yeah.
Boom,
Now what?
cooked.
Now you're cooked.
How do the people
How do the people what? Go ahead, brother.
how do people balance that? Like, let's give them some tips on how to balance the social media and the reality of things, and like how to keep sane and not like feeling like they're so behind or they're so, you know what I'm saying, above others, because they can pop it on social media or they can't.
The balance is keeping the main thing the main thing.
Run your own race, buddy.
And what is the main thing? Like, what should people focus on? Like, because I feel like a lot of people's focus isn't aligned with the truth.
Yeah, be yourself. The
Yeah.
main thing is you being yourself.
Yeah.
If you can't be your true individual self, You know what I mean? What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
living in a false world. You know what I mean?
So
That's
what
why we
about
say-
how do
that's
you
why we
feel?
say the Matrix
How
effect.
do you feel about the term "fake it till you make it"? Then, because sometimes you do have to fake it until you do make it in a certain aspect. But how do you?
It depends on what you're trying to make it to. You know what I mean? That's what it just depends on what you're trying to make it to. You know what I mean?
Is it ever okay to do that though?
In certain situations,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
I think so. It
So
depends.
to lie is okay in certain situations.
Not necessarily lying, but telling yourself that things will be okay is a certain.
So
aspect.
manifesting.
Yeah, manifesting is fake it till you make it.
Is it okay?
I think so, right? Because
Yeah, because you're putting that in your mind.
But
that
what?
it's there,
But what do
and
the
it might not
viewers
be there
think?
until,
it might not
you
be
know,
there
yeah,
until you get
it. Yeah.
until you get there, right?
I can see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily you're lying. You know what I mean? You're not lying to yourself, right? You're planning this out.
Facts.
You have a executed plan from A to Z, and maybe you're not fully there yet. You might not be where you want it to be, but
Yeah.
you're executing the steps that it takes to get to where you want to be.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So fake it till you make it. It could be a blessing and a curse, but it depends on how you're using it.
And
You know?
sometimes these people you see a lot of times like fake it till you make it is just for them to get to the opportunity they need to, because the person that they are in that moment isn't going to help them get there.
What is
You know
what
yeah,
is the
that's real,
definition
yeah.
of "fake it till you make it" though, and how can people use that to their benefit?
I don't know if there's a true like definition. I don't know word for word what the definition would be. You know what I mean? But seeing when I hear fake it till you make it, you can have somebody like you want to get like you want to be like apprenticeship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you might not really know the real backgrounds of what you're going into,
Right.
Or even an internship, right?
Right.
But I'm gonna fake it as if I know exactly what the fuck I'm doing.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And then hopefully I get the opportunity. And then most of the time it comes with, nigga, you're already here. I'm gonna have to teach you everything we know. You know what I mean? And that's when you end up
Regardless.
making it.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
You're here.
Which in those type of situations it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, now if you're just faking it till you make it just because you're trying to pop on social media.
Yeah, if you're trying to
That's-
impress somebody, then
that's
that's
not-
not.
Impress
not-
is where it comes
Impress
into
is
play.
when it's not becoming beneficial.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
Right.
okay.
Now you're hurting yourself because now you have to be that person regardless if you make
And
it
you're
or
not really that.
Yeah.
And you're not
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Regardless if you make it, you have to stay that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Is that bad, or does that make you rise to the occasion?
Depends on the person.
So sometimes putting yourself in a difficult situation is beneficial.
I was just about to say
Yeah.
that. It's a dark side to fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a
Yeah.
dark
But then there
side
is a
to it.
bright side to that.
There is.
Because it's also like fake it till you make it is like delusional confidence, and that can only help you in a way, or can that hurt you?
It depends on the situation.
Yeah.
So, in back to what you said, Bang. In the situation of faking it on social media, that will hurt you.
Yeah.
That will hurt you. Eventually, it will hurt you
Especially in real life.
in real life.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Because people are going to see that.
You set an expectation.
You set that expectation, and
Yeah.
you're not exceeding that expectation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, okay, boom, you're not doing it. You're faking.
Yeah.
You're a fake. You're a
Yeah,
fake. That's
yeah.
your label now,
Mhm.
right? But in the aspect of an apprenticeship where you're trying to learn, skill set to be able to accomplish certain things in life,
Yeah.
you're going to be able to say, I faked it till I maked it to the next man that you're teaching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like I said, a blessing and a curse. You know, it could go both ways.
It's all. It just
So
comes
it is
down to
okay.
situational.
It's okay to do that at times.
It's situational.
In certain times,
situational.
yeah, I think it's
Situational.
okay.
Yeah.
I think it's okay because image does play a role into fake it till you make it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to look like a dummy if you're an apprentice in a apprenticeship and you're trying to figure out something that you have no idea about.
Yeah.
It's you want to look like you know something,
Yeah.
or you are at least able to obtain the information
Or
that
you
they're
just
giving
a
you.
Class A bullshitter.
and we run into a lot of
We run
those,
into a
right?
lot of those, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know, but where it can be a negative is, say you, right? How many times have you seen where a cat will, or even a female, you'll take somebody out, right?
Mhm.
To this nice ass place, boom. You don't really got it like that, you know what I mean? But you're trying to, you're trying to show them, look, this is what it is. You set an expectation in that moment. There is no coming back down. You know what I mean? From there. Now she expects this every single time.
a lot of the vibes say they don't like you to introduce them to a vibe you can't maintain.
You can't maintain.
Ooh,
You can't maintain. And motherfuckers will do it all the time.
But what's the difference between doing that and putting your best foot forward? Because
Bro.
sometimes you can't maintain, like the girl ain't finna look super duper Instagram pretty all the time. So I'm saying, is she faking it to make it?
The difference is, bro, you putting your best foot forward is literally like an honest try.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, I'm trying and I'm showing you this is what I can do when I'm at my best.
yeah.
But is that
You know what I
faking
mean?
it?
No, that's not faking it. I'm
No.
showing you what I can do at my best. This is
Okay.
what I'm able to do.
But what I'm
faking
saying,
it is, I'm showing you what I can do in this moment, but I can't keep this shit up. But I'm gonna keep telling you I can.
but at the same time, is like, can you put your best all the time?
I think it's possible.
Is
but
that
the
even?
thing is
That fake?
This is the real, right? You putting your best foot forward, right? You putting your best foot forward, bro. Let's put it into the terms of, like, let's say the relationship terms, right? You meet a new girl,
Right.
right? You meet a new girl, and your homie got the nice new BMW that, it's not gonna be a issue if he lets you use it for the night.
Need it.
Yeah, I need it to run the play,
Come on.
right? But the thing is, that's not you.
Yeah.
You know
She
what I
gonna
mean?
call you on a day you're not able to take that whip out.
You're not able. Maybe he got it for his date. You know what I mean?
So,
It's not available, right? So you done set the standard so high,
yeah.
right, to where it's like, this is the expectation.
She's
But
looking
that's
forward
not.
to that.
It's exactly.
Yeah.
But that's not what you're actually offering. Maybe you got a Buick, or maybe you got a damn Lexus, or
Hey.
Buick.
Well, yeah, get off me. What we doing? We sending shots.
look.
Maybe you ride a motorcycle.
Look, yeah,
Maybe, nigga.
sponsors, come here, man. I need that. All that. Come on. Bike life. All day, every day. Look. But look, bro.
Shopping shit.
Look what I'm saying. Like, bro, you set that Bentley, that S-Class Benz standard,
You set the standard.
and you're not there yet. You know what I mean? You're associating your people, your life with those types of people, but that's not where you at, bro. And then at the end of the day, okay, boom. Like I said, you set that standard. She has this expectation of you, and then you can't meet it. And that, what happens after that?
If she a real one, she and you explain it right, she gonna accept you for you. You know what I mean? She gonna appreciate the effort.
So just be you in the first place.
You should be you in the first
should.
place. But what if you isn't good enough?
Bro, that's not the lady for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, now. Talk about
But if you as a regular
See what I'm
is
saying?
not
See what I'm
as
saying.
high standard as you, and you rise up to the occasion at once, is that lying to her because you can't come do that every single time, or is that like, what is that?
See, this is like a subtopic, but at the end of the day, if you get to that point, and then for whatever reason, things happen to where you are not there yet, and you go back down, right? Okay, that's different. You know what I mean? You were not faking the funk. That's what it was.
Yep.
But a real one gonna ride with you regardless, right?
regardless. As
Hopefully.
long as you keep it 100.
Hopefully, yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't go in there-
Hopefully.
don't go in there faking the funk. Like, hey, this is where I'm at, because this is what she's gonna see that. She's staying eye to eye with that person.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when you show the real you and you're really here, you've already blown it, because you should just kept it honest from the jump. Hey, I normally don't do shit like this. You know what I mean? This is how I'm stepping out tonight. Like, I wanted to impress you. You know what I mean? But this ain't normally me. If you
And
just
be
keep it from the
real.
butt, you know what I mean? She's gonna accept you for the try, the attempt. And if she don't, niggas, something
You're not
else
the right
in the
girl.
motherfucking seed. That's
Not
not for
it.
you.
And it's
I mean,
so
and it's
so
vice
crazy.
versa. There's vice versa. I ain't gonna just say the women has that choice. It's,
Talk
you know,
about
it's
it.
the other way too.
Yep.
Of course
You know what
not.
I
Of
mean?
course
Yeah.
not.
Guys be
Yeah.
fucking that money up.
Yeah, they
Man,
do.
saying?
these
So-
niggas.
It's a lot of.
It's just
faking,
sad, though,
A lot of faking, a lot of funking. You know what I mean? Going out there. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
sad. This is the thing though too, is that it's sad because it's like we have the pressure of upstanding the level that social media presents to us.
Yeah, the social
Yeah.
media front.
Yeah.
The social media front.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, you might see, the Bentleys, the Rolls Royces, this, that, and the third, and you feel like, man, look, bro, I gotta take her out on a date like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that might not be what you possess at the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's about the man you are inside, not what you have.
Yeah.
Bro,
Don't fall in love with the material.
come on.
Fall in love with the maker.
So what y'all think? Like, what's one thing you would change about the way that people use social media?
I wish people would use it more towards their benefit, right? The smart ones, you know what I mean? The business people, boom, they use that towards their benefit to build their audience, all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
People who are just on social media, be on social media, I wish you would use it more in a positive effect for yourself versus let me get on here and judge these. Let me go comment just because I can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let me go hate just because I can do that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, use it to your advantage. You know what I mean? Some social media ain't for everybody.
It's really not.
You know what I mean? Yeah, nowadays
respect
it forces
that.
people, it pushes you to social media. You know what I mean? You gotta have it. Stay in contact with some people. Some people, bro, think how many people you talk to on social media that you don't even have their phone numbers.
Yeah, bro.
You know what
Too
I'm
many.
saying?
Too many.
It's too many. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's tough. I would push use social media to whatever advantage you can use it for.
That's real.
You know what I mean?
Take it back to the old days where it was simple.
Yeah.
Tradition, man.
That's
Stick
it.
to it.
That's it, man.
Hey, but look, man. It's your boy Jonesy 202.
Talk about it.
Look, I got my boy Big Bang to the right of me.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
My boy Santana
Yes, sir.
to the far
Santana,
right of me.
man.
Look, man. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe.
Hey, let us know your thoughts, man.
Please,
tap
bro.
in.
We wanna
Any
hear
questions you
everything.
got?
Questions,
advice,
comments,
yep.
concerns, tap in.
Come on.
We're willing to conversate.
We will conversate.
You know?
Look,
So
bro.
we out.
Turn on the post notifications. Man, y'all tap in the comments. Man, we want to hear what y'all got to say about the content. Look, bro.
Yes, sir.
Jonesy 202. We're going to tap in with y'all in the next episode.
See what we saying.
Boom.